Welcome back to Grammar Fundamentals for the SAT. This is Chapter 11, Lesson 85. 3 small marks do 3 precise jobs: tucking in an aside, fixing a quotation, and showing what's been left out. Today, parentheses, brackets, and ellipsis points. Start with parentheses. Use them to set off supplemental material that isn't closely tied to the rest of the sentence, an aside the reader could skip. Anna Pavlova, open paren, 1881 to 1931, close paren, was a famous Russian ballerina. Those dates are extra, only loosely related, so they go in parentheses. One detail about capitals. A parenthetical sentence that stands on its own takes a capital letter and its own endmark, but one tucked inside a larger sentence does not. Put an endmark inside the parentheses only when it belongs to the parenthetical words. Brackets do a different job. Use them to enclose words that you, the writer, slip into a quotation, usually to explain something the original speaker assumed. He declared, quote, "We want full manhood suffrage, bracket, voting rights, bracket, now." Those bracketed words, voting rights, are your clarification, not his, and the brackets make that honest. Brackets have one more use. They hold a parenthetical phrase that already sits inside parentheses, so the two never collide. The third mark is ellipsis points, 3 spaced dots that show words have been left out of a quotation. Suppose Emily said a long sentence and you quote only the end. ... Our school needs a new gym, Emily said. The 3 dots tell the reader, something came before this, and I've trimmed it. One rule to remember: if the omission falls at the end of a sentence, keep that sentence's own end punctuation along with the dots. Ellipsis points are how you shorten a quote honestly. So when a sentence has a gap and asks which mark belongs, ask what the gap is for. If it's an extra aside in your own sentence, supplemental, loosely related, use parentheses. If it's your own words added inside someone else's quotation, use brackets. And if words have been removed from a quotation, use ellipsis points. Aside, insert, or omit. That single question names the mark every time. Let's practice. In each sentence, decide which mark belongs at the gap. Pause and try each one before I answer. Theodore Roosevelt, gap, known as TR, gap, was an avid conservationist. The nickname is extra, loosely related information in your own sentence, so the answer is parentheses. The teacher said, quote, "This, gap, pointing to Japan, gap, is our biggest challenge." That description is the writer's own words inserted inside the quotation, so the answer is brackets. What comes next after, quote, "Roses are red, violets are blue," gap? The trailing words of the quotation have been left out, so the answer is ellipsis points. 3 more. Ask whether the gap is an aside in your own sentence, your words inside a quote, or a place where words were removed. Pause and try each. My sister is a biologist, gap. She writes for a science magazine, gap. That's a complete supplemental sentence standing on its own, so the answer is parentheses. The mayor was quoted, quote, "We will fight the opposition, gap, Democrats, gap, on this." The clarification was added by the writer inside the quotation, so the answer is brackets. The candidate ended, quote, gap, "and if elected, I promise to lower taxes." Words were left out at the start of the quotation, so the answer is ellipsis points. Let's wrap up. Parentheses set off supplemental, loosely related material, an aside in your own sentence. Brackets enclose words that you, the writer, add inside someone else's quotation, or a parenthetical already inside parentheses. And ellipsis points, 3 spaced dots, show that words have been left out of a quotation. Aside, insert, or omit. Name the job, and you name the mark. Great work! In Lesson 86, we'll turn to quotation marks and how to punctuate a speaker's exact words.